Right, so I've managed to get the lid open. As you can see, the lid's not been held down, or these should be some pins that go through here, some roll pins. They've snapped, so that's part of the repair anyway. This is the old wiring system in here. They very helpfully left another one of these in, so whether I can program that. Yeah, so this is all the old electrics, and then you've got this additional electrics here, which you won't see on any of my other crushers. This is to enable you to be able to turn the machine off when these safety interlocks are engaged, because the side fence has been removed, the safety side fence. So as you can see, the battery's missing, so I'm going to stick a battery in now, and then I'm going to see if I can crank it up, see if this has got a green light on, then see if I can actually operate the crusher, get the crusher drawer to move, and then once the crusher drawer's been able to move, I should be able to start stripping this down. So fingers crossed. Right, I've gone to try and start the machine, and I've got an ignition light, and it's just ticking. So I've got plenty of battery power, which usually is an indication that there's no battery power, but that's fine. So I've come to the conclusion that the wiring loom is no good. There's something gone wrong somewhere. One of these plugs is getting quite hot. So what I've done is I've temporarily fixed up an existing old wiring loom, which is here. I've just connected it up to, I've got the glow plug wire in, the start wire here, and the signal wire. I've put a fuse back in here, and I've also joined these two wires together. So these two wires normally go up to the micro switch up here, which you can't see, but it tells the wiring loom that the conveyor lever is neutral, so that should create a circuit. I've left the battery on charge overnight as well, which is good. It's saying that's fully charged, and I've got a temporary ignition here. So I'm just going to see now whether I can get this machine to start. If it does start, then I can move the RAM to get this pin out. So let's just put the throttle down. All right, glow. Success. Okay. So I've got no power on the logo box, because obviously I've disconnected the wiring loop. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a jumper cable in straight to the RAM return to get this RAM to go back so I can take the pin out. Okay, so I'm going to put this cable direct to the battery now. Okay, I've got power in the box, that's good. Let's just see if the RAM moves. That's a good success. The RAM moves. At the moment I haven't got any power going to this logo box. That kind of doesn't matter, to be honest. Right, that's it, we'll switch it off. It doesn't really matter, I've got no power to the logo box. I've done what I needed to do, and that's to get this RAM fully forward, which means I can take the machine apart now, take the engine out, take all this wiring out. So I'm happy with that. It's a success. Engine's slightly difficult to start, but I think I can get over that. It just needs a new wiring loom, probably a new starter motor, which I happen to have anyway. So I reckon I can get this engine going, putting in another machine, and then I can start stripping this down. So yeah, it's a runner anyway. Great news. Catch you on the next one. Right, managed to weld some nuts on to this one, and then the welder's packed up. It's broken. So I've resorted to cutting the heads off these. Managed to get the scraper bar out. I'm going to try and manually undo these now. I might be able to get the drill on them and twist them off. or I just leave them, and when the welder's fixed I'll weld a nut on them and undo them like that. Hoping very soon rather to be able to get this jaw plate up so I can have a look at what the state of the jaw is behind. Bang that top pin out for the crusher, and then once I've banged the top pin out, retract the ram in, and then I don't need the engine on this machine anymore. So that's the plan. I'll just try and manually get those out and see what happens. Right, so managed to get the two side plates out, and now I'm going to try and drive this pin out. Right, so there was two grub screws there and there, and I couldn't undo them. I tried drilling it, I put an easy out in, the easy out snapped. I put an Allen key in on a socket, and that snapped. And then normally what I would do is I would put a nut on there and weld it in and undo it, but unfortunately my welder's packed up. So just took it round to Gary, expecting it to put up a fight, and in less than 5 minutes he's undone them. That's good news, because now what I need to do is drive this pin out. I've got to soak it now in WD-40. Chances are it's not going to come out easy. I don't think this has ever been removed in 20 years or so this machine's been in operation. So it's going to be tough. If it doesn't come out with the usual sledgehammer and pin, I'm going to try my doomsday key. Don't know if anybody's seen a doomsday key. It's basically a massive great weapon that I'm going to hang from the forks of the machine. Hopefully I won't need to do that, but in the meantime I'm just going to smother it now, bit of WD-40, and we'll see if we can drive the pin out. Doesn't matter if this pin gets ruined, because I shan't be putting this pin back in. I should be using the new ones I've had made. Right, let's see if we can drive this pin out. Right, I don't think that's moved at all, so I'm going to leave that soaking, and I'm going to try the doomsday key on it. Right, a little update. This pin would not drive out. I've had a nut welded on this side and that side, tried to twist it round with two spanners. It's not budging at all. This has been heated up, that's been heated up, it's still not budging. So my next plan is to cut through here and here, cut right through the pin. The pin I'm going to get rid of anyway. It's a shame, I wanted to save these two collars, but I can't, I've got spares. That's the only way I'm going to get this ram out. I think once that's out, I've only got that bit of pin to bang through. I think it will knock through there. If it doesn't, I'll take the jaw out and put it on a press. So that's where we are with this. I'm going to have to use the petrol cutter. It's the only thing that's big enough to get in there and get down. I'm going to try and avoid the edge of this ram. I tried cutting in there with a 4-inch grinder, but it just won't go in deep enough. So it's going to take a bit of cutting. We're going to try that now, there and there, see if we can get this pin out. Right, success after 10 minutes of cutting. You can see tank of fuel as well. I've gone through both sides and the jaw's given way, which is great. I can now retract the ram, and I should better just drive those little bits out now with the Doomsday key. It's called the Doomsday key because it's supposed to open any door, but it didn't open this one. Anyway, that's the next plan of action. Right, so next job, drain the oil out of this machine. So as you can see, I've got it suspended from these forks and deliberately got it on an angle so that the oil will drain backwards, much out of the tank as possible. So I've got this container ready. I'm probably going to fill at least 3 of these with the amount of oil it's going to come out. This is probably the most messiest job, so I've brought the machine outside to do. That's just what's dripped out from the pipe that comes straight from the tank into the pump. It's a pressurised system, so it's just a gradual leak. But that's, you know, been there probably for 3 weeks, and that's slowly filled up. Yeah, so I'm going to try and catch as much oil as I can. So next job, get this oil drained out.